how far the Detroit Lions have come. Just a few years ago, they were 1-6. They started 1-6. They wind up going 8-2 in their last 10, just missing out on the playoffs. And I've been using the ESPN playoff machine for the past 5 or 6 years. I stumbled across it in late the 20 teens, and I've loved it ever since. There's the New York Times, there's other things that you can use, but I love this thing, and I've been using it since. And a few years ago, we were 1-6, and listen, I did this a few years ago, back the first year of Lions Syndicate. And shout out to Bucky, who reminded me of this. You guys may not remember, but the Lions were 0-10-1. As a matter of fact, they were 1-10-1. And I made a video, how the Detroit Lions can make the playoffs. And check this out. Here's where this is going to blow your mind. You may or may not remember this. The Lions had a 1 in 800 billion chance to make the playoffs at 1-10-1. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice than the Lions to make the playoffs. Well, later that week 13 or whatever it was, they were eliminated from playoff contention, one of the first teams to do so. I think that's the same year the Cardinals started 7-0 and then kind of fell off a cliff. But somebody in the comment section said that if the Detroit Lions win their next 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving, and that if the San Francisco 49ers lose 1, that the Lions could clinch a playoff berth. Well, I went through it, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I went through it, and I did not see that scenario of a week 13 clinch. That's basically what would happen. So we would clinch after week 13, heading into week 14. I did not see that scenario with what at that point it would be. After week 13, it would be 5 games left. I did see a scenario with 4 games left that the Detroit Lions could clinch a playoff berth. And let me show you how I came to that. Not going to go through it, but I'm just going to show you how I did this. Well, I guess I need to, in a way, because San Francisco, the key was San Francisco losing just 1 game. I ran that simulation, man, and I could not find that. But I do have the San Francisco. I just called this like I see it, like I think it's going to happen. And I think this game could go either way, Seattle, San Francisco, but I did choose Seattle. Then I chose San Francisco to beat Green Bay, but that could also go either way. Here's where I took the Bills to beat the 49ers. There's that 1 loss. And before we did 14, it wasn't a possibility, because let's say the 49ers win that game, they would have been 7-5, but the Detroit Lions will be 11-1. The best the Lions could be, or the worst the Lions could be at 11-1, would be 11-6. The 49ers at 7-5, the best they could be at that point would be 12-5, right? So they could actually pass the Detroit Lions if the Detroit Lions fell off a cliff. That's if we stopped at week 13. But including week 14, okay, I came up with this scenario, and that's even if the Niners win 3 out of the last 4 and they only lose to the Bills, that puts them at 7-6. At this point, they are the 7th seed with 6 losses, which means the best they could be is 11-6. All right. The worst we could be at this point is 12-5, which means that no matter what happens, we can't get bumped out of the playoffs, right? Because here's the thing, we play each other. So then you got the tiebreaker and all that, but that stuff comes later. But even at a record of 12-1, we are not going to drop lower than the 7th seed, because the 7th seed currently has 6 losses, which means this now will get you in the playoffs. So I didn't see it for week 13, but I did come across week 14. At this point, the Lions, the worst they could be is 12-5. That is guaranteed for them to be in the playoffs. But if you can go through the scenario, you want to go through it, and if you can come up with it, I couldn't, but you probably could. And if you do find a way that we clinch the playoffs because the only thing I don't like about this one is it doesn't tell you clinch. Like, it'll say it down here once it becomes official. So once it updates, because if you go up here, like, let's go to week 11. Once this game happens tonight, because you're watching this is recorded Wednesday, but you're going to see it the morning of the 13th. Once this game goes final, this will be darked, and it'll be on the side of the winner. So if the Eagles win, it'll be flipped over to them, and then it'll darken out. You won't be able to change it. And then these stay open until they're done. And then at the end of Sunday Night Football, then all of these will be black, and then this one will be open until the end of Monday Night Football, right? So the earliest that I saw is the Detroit Lions clinching a playoff berth week 14, which is still ridiculous because you're talking about 5 more weeks of football. So, 4 more weeks after this win. 4 more weeks. And then after that, we'll be talking about clinching the NFC North. And then after that, we'll be talking about the NFC. Because even right now, we would clinch a playoff berth, but we wouldn't clinch the NFC North with 4 games remaining because we played the Minnesota Vikings. So it's a whole rabbit hole. I love to do this stuff. But again, if I'm wrong, then let me know in the comments below. But this is what I came up with. And even if it is, we know that we can definitely do it after the week 14 matchup against who do we play in week 14? We play the Green Bay Packers, and that will be at home. So that would assume that the Detroit Lions won their next 4 games, pushing it into that first game in November, which I think the Green Bay Packers, we play them when we come back from a break. So coming up, we've got 10 games in 11 days. We play the 17th. Yeah, we got 10 games in 11 days. Then we get a break, and then we come back and play the Green Bay Packers in December, that first, I think, week in December. So that's what I came up with. I ran this a couple of times. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Let me know if you come up with something different down in the comments below. I love this. I love this, man. I live for this stuff right here, how teams can make the playoffs. And it just feels good, man, being on the other side of this. Like, yo, we got a 99% chance to make. It's actually greater than the 99%. It's probably 99.9% chance to make the playoffs. Like at this point, at 8-1, we would have to have a colossal fall off. We would have to literally probably lose. We got 8 games. We would probably have to go 1-7 in order to miss the playoffs. Like real talk, putting us at 9-8, and maybe we miss it then. I don't know, but I don't see that happening. I predicted 14-3 to start the season, and the Lions got. I mean, if we beat the teams we should beat, really, like we can beat any team, but let's just say a sloppy game like the Texans that just we're not able to complete that comeback. You drop that game, and then you just drop a game you got no business dropping, right? So like the next 3 games against the Jaguars, who Mac Jones, the Chicago Bears, who've fallen off a cliff, right? You got offensive linemen not even helping up their quarterback. And then you have before that, you have the Indianapolis Colts, who he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. He's not the starter. He's benched. Now he's finishing the season. I mean, real talk, they might have been better off with Joe Flacco. I don't know. Well, I mean, we could pick this guy. We could pick Anthony Richardson off a ton. So that's just November. And then we head into December, and then we facing the Green Bay Packers at home. Now, last time they beat us at home, but yesterday's price ain't today's price. They're not beating us at home. Ford Field is going to be a tough place to play. And if we do get the number 1 seed and all roads go through Detroit, and the NFC title game is in Ford Field, no team is going to beat us. I promise. Whether I'm there or not, man, I know it's going to be 70,000 people. Standing room early. You got 65,000 seats, probably another, I don't know. They probably at least going to have about 5 extra thousand people in there, man. Because I think what they did is one of the sides, they had standing room. Like every crevice that you can watch the game from like the corridor, then they had it open. So they might even be selling seats, like watching it on hallway seats. Wouldn't that be crazy? I would go. If I couldn't go to the playoffs and sit in the stadium and they were offering like hallway seats, I would go and stand in the hallway. I was standing in the hallway, bro, for real. So let me know your thoughts, man. Again, if you run this yourself, the ESPN playoff machine, I will link the link to this in the description. And then you guys can, or you know what? I'll put it as a pinned comment. I'll do that so you guys won't have to look through there. I'll do that and you guys can come up. If you do, let me know. And then I'll make sure that on the next video we do of this, then I will update that. All right. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Take care of yourself and each other and make smart decisions. And good morning. And as always, go Lions.